场的工作人员借取传译耳机，谢谢。Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very warm good morning. The Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area Entrepreneurs Forum 2024 will begin in 5 minutes. Please do proceed to your seats. Thank you. We have arranged for simultaneous interpretation in Putonghua and in Cantonese. Please do reach out to our staff for any assistance. 女士们、先生们，早上好。2024粤港澳大湾区企业家论坛将于5分钟后开始，请各位入座。我们今天现场设有即时传译服务，如果您需要借取耳机的话，可以向我们现场的工作人员借取。我们今天有粤语及普通话同声传译，谢谢各位。 Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very warm good morning. Our event will be beginning in 3 minutes' time. Hence, we urge that you please do be seated. And once again, if you would require simultaneous interpretation headsets, please obtain them from any one of our staff assistants. Thank you. 各位来宾、女士们、先生们，早上好！我们的活动将在3分钟后开始，请各位尽快就座，谢谢。如果您需要借取即时传译耳机的话，可以向我们现场的工作人员借取。今天我们有粤语及普通话的即时传译，谢谢各位。Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our online attendees and media friends. My name is Laura Kosensen, your MC for today. A very warm welcome to you all to the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area Entrepreneurs Forum 2024, titled Hong Kong's Role in the New Era, presented by Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong's 90th anniversary. How are you this morning? I don't hear any clapping. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us on this very important event. Today's forum is organized by our Hong Kong Foundation, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Shenzhen Finance Institute, the Chinese University of Hong Kong Business School, and Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area Entrepreneurs Alliance. Without further ado, we would now be inviting our distinguished speakers and guests to deliver their opening remarks. First off, our very own Dr. Jane Lee, President of our Hong Kong Foundation, for the opening remarks. Dr. Lee, please.
Good morning, Professor Wangtong, Dr. Bernard Chen, Mr. Zhu Wei 主任, Mr. Jonathan Choi, Dr. Winkle Low, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen and friends and media friends. On behalf of our Hong Kong Foundation, it is my great honor to welcome you all to the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area Entrepreneurs Forum 2024, Hong Kong's Role in the New Era. This year marks a significant milestone as both our Hong Kong Foundation and the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen celebrate our 10th anniversary. We are also delighted to have the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong as our title sponsor, celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. This year also marks the 5th anniversary of the release of the Outline Development Plan for the Greater Bay Area, which introduced a range of measures designed to help Hong Kong's business capitalize on recent economic and technological advancements. These initiatives were designed to encourage firms to explore new opportunities from various new perspectives. In this dynamic context, our Hong Kong Foundation is delighted to launch a series of impactful events centered on the Greater Bay Area, empowering business to seize these emerging opportunities. Today's forum builds on yesterday's launch of our Hong Kong Foundation Daxing Bank GBA Industry Index 2024. The groundbreaking GBA Industry Development Index 2024 offers a comprehensive assessment of industrial development across all 11 GBA cities, covering 6 sectors: financial services, innovation technology, trade and logistics, manufacturing, construction, and real estate, as well as culture, sports, and tourism. It provides insights into city advantages based on public policy initiatives, growth trends, and the confidence index, making it essential for understanding the GBA's economic landscape. This index equips business leaders, entrepreneurs, investors, and hopefully also policymakers with crucial insights into market trends and growth opportunities. Yesterday's launch was followed by the SME Pre-Forum Dialogue Pitching and Mingling session supported by Ernst & Young. The extremely successful pre-forum event sparked critical discussions on smart cities and sustainability by exploring cutting-edge trends in development and practices. It featured business leaders and entrepreneurs from the GBA and Pacific, with over 15 SMEs showcasing their innovative solutions. Participants had the opportunity to expand their business horizons and unlock new growth opportunities in this transformative dialogue that shapes the future of our GBA. Today, the forum brings together entrepreneurs and experts again to explore opportunities and challenges in the GBA, highlighting Hong Kong's role as a bridge between China and the global market. Featuring over 30 prominent speakers and panelists today, the event includes 4 industry insight sessions focused on critical sectors from the index: artificial intelligence and high-end manufacturing, financial services, green economy, and digital assets. The forum aims to facilitate knowledge sharing, fostering collaboration, and accelerating high-quality development across the GBA. I want to extend my warmest gratitude to all of our co-organizers, especially the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen, for bringing this flagship forum to Hong Kong. A special thanks to our sponsors, partners, and supporting organizations who contribute to this event. And I wish all of you a productive and inspiring day at the forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lee. Please be seated. Up next, please join me in inviting on stage Professor Chong Wang, Associate Vice President from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. 我们有请王教授。
早上好，因为我从深圳过来，那我的致辞就用普通话，以体现我们粤港澳大湾区2文3语的特色。尊敬的陈局长、朱主任、李总裁、蔡主席、卢会长、各位领导、各位企业家朋友，上午好。我谨代表香港中文大学深圳和深圳高等金融研究院，对大家的到来表示热烈欢迎，向一直以来对企业家论坛给予大力支持的粤港澳3地有关的政府部门、商协会、各大媒体以及友好合作机构表示诚挚的感谢。粤港澳大湾区作为国家战略的重要组成部分，承载着推动区域经济一体化、促进创新发展的重要使命。香港作为国际金融、航运、贸易中心，汇聚中西方的制度、文化、人才等各方面的优势，一直以来扮演着引进来和走出去双向桥梁的角色，对我们国家的对外开放发挥着不可替代的作用，为大湾区的金融创新、科技创新和人才培养提供强有力的支持。我们期待通过本次论坛，汇聚各方智慧，共同探讨新形势下如何推动大湾区的企业创新发展，提升产业的国际竞争力。如果说创新是引领发展的第一动力，那么人才 就是创新的重要引擎，区域的发展离不开高层次人才的支撑。今年呢，刚好是我们香港中文大学深圳建校10周年。自建校以来呢，我们大学始终致力于培养国际化、创新型的高层次人才，服务于大湾区乃至国家的发展需求。过去10年的办学成果，不仅得到了深港两地政府的高度肯定，也受到了社会各界的广泛赞誉，成为粤港澳大湾区合作发展的成功典范。目前，我们大学拥有超过1万名优秀的本科、硕士以及博士生在校就读，汇聚了超过600余位来自全球各个前沿领域的优秀的学者和教授。我们的学科覆盖了人工智能与机器人、数据科学与大数据技术、新能源、新材料、未来智联网络、生物信息学、金融和金融科技、临床医学、制药和精准医学等多个领域。在基础的研发方面，我们大学也取得了许多重要的成果，建设了多个领域的学科群和重点实验室。我们还高度重视产学研合作，紧密跟踪前沿的科学领域，紧贴产业发展趋势，加快构建产学研用全过程的创新生态链。另一方面，香港中文大学深圳和香港中文大学也秉承着一个品牌、2个校园的宗旨，在联合培养人才方面做出了很多创新。比如我们新近推出的2校2+2双主修的项目，学生呢2年在香港学习，2年在深圳学习。这个项目受到了同学们的广泛的欢迎。未来，我们也希望通过我们的努力，与香港的业界、学界持续紧密的协作，为大湾区乃至国家的发展贡献我们的力量。最后，再次感谢本次论坛给予大力支持的各友好合作的伙伴以及在座的媒体的朋友们，希望在座的各位嘉宾满载而归。谢谢大家。
非常感谢王教授的演讲，谢谢，请回座。Thank you, Professor Wang. Please be seated. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we're very honored to have with us today Dr. Bernard Chan, Acting Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development from the Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, to give us the opening remarks. Let's welcome Dr. Chan.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My pleasure to join you all today, sharing with you all my insights on the role of Hong Kong in the GBA and beyond. On behalf of the Hong Kong SAR government, may I first express a warm welcome to all the participants, particularly those coming from afar. Well, as we would all agree, the GBA is a fast-growing region with a GDP exceeding 14 trillion RMB and a population surpassing 86 million. Now, as the world's freest economy and China's most international city, Hong Kong certainly may play a pivotal role in facilitating high-level opening up of the GBA. I'm going to share with you all 3 aspects that Hong Kong may help in this regard. Number 1, under the one country, two system principles, Hong Kong has the distinctive advantages of enjoying strong support of the motherland while being closely connected to the world. We are an international financial center, trade center, and logistics center. We will give full play to our dual roles of going global and attracting foreign investment, helping mainland enterprises to go global and connect them with the international markets, as well as bringing overseas investments, talents, and projects to the GBA. Number 2, under the National 14th Five-Year Plan, the central government fully supports Hong Kong to further enhance our role as an international trade center. The Hong Kong SAR government has been actively exploring new markets, in particular the ASEAN region and the Middle East region. We are also doing our very best to maintain close ties with the traditional markets through our 66 offices from around the world. We will continue to forge free trade agreement and investment promotion and protection agreement with our trade partners so as to expand our trade and investment network, thereby contributing to the growth of Hong Kong, the GBA, and our motherland. We will continue to serve our country's needs with our strengths. Number 3, the Hong Kong SAR government will continue to enhance our work in attracting foreign investment. We will also strengthen our ties with the investment promotion agency or departments from different provinces and cities. We will work together to help mainland enterprises to go global. For example, we have been liaising closely with the Guangdong Department of Commerce and see if we may co-organize more investment seminars or trade shows together in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Hong Kong is proud to be a key player in the national strategies, including the National 14th Five-Year Plan, the Belt and Road Initiative, as well as the GBA development. We serve as a super connector and super value adder for both mainland enterprises and foreign businesses. With our business-friendly environment, our low and simple tax regime, as well as a wealth of multicultural talents and professional services, together with many distinctive advantages under the one country, two systems, we are well positioned to facilitate local, mainland, and foreign businesses. My sincere thanks to our Hong Kong Foundation and many others who have contributed to the success of Hong Kong and the GBA as a whole. With concerted efforts, I'm sure we'll continue to enhance and empower the GBA, in particular, deepening its trade and investment network and facilitating its further opening up to the world. Together, we will seize the amazing opportunities ahead. Well, I wish today's forum a great success and everybody here good health and many fruitful years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chen. Please be seated. Indeed, well said. Together we will seize the opportunities ahead. Today we're honored to have with us Mr. Zhu Wei, Deputy Director of Guangdong Provincial Development and Reform Commission, Standing Deputy Director of the Leading Group Office of Guangdong on the construction of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, to give us the opening remarks. 各位女士们、先生们，我们有请朱先生。
谢谢。尊敬的李正仪总裁、陈百里局长、王叢校长、蔡冠生主席、刘金荣会长、各位领导、各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，非常高兴来到2024年粤港澳大湾区企业家论坛，与在座的各位商界领袖和知名学者一道，聚焦香港的角色及定位，畅聊大湾区建设发展面带来的新机遇。借这个机会啊，我把我们广东携手港澳推进大湾区建设的一些做法和取得的成效，向各位做个介绍。建设国际科技创新中心和构建具有国际竞争力的现代化产业体系，是粤港澳大湾区建设的重要任务。近年来，广东持续推进战略科技力量的建设，国家在大湾区布局了散裂中子源等9个重大科技基础设施。重大科技基础设施实现了从无到有再到多的历史性跨越。我们构建起以鹏城实验室、广州实验室这2个国家实验室为重要支撑的高水平多层次实验室体系。我们全力推进关键核心技术攻关，在新一代通信技术、终端操作系统、工业软件、储能与新能源汽车等领域取得一批突破性的成果。深圳、香港、广州这个科技集群连续5年被世界知识产权组织列为全球第2位的科技创新集群。广东坚持实体经济为本、制造业当家，加快建设现代化产业体系。目前已形成新一代信息技术、智能家电、汽车等8个万亿级的产业集群，新质生产力发展的根基不但夯实，尤其是今年以来， 广东省政府专门出台加快培育发展未来产业的行动方案，制定一系列支持政策，重点推动低空经济、光芯片等未来产业抢滩布局。我们也很高兴地看到2024香港施政报告提出将成立发展低空经济工作组。广东在今年也出台了推动低空经济高质量发展的行动方案，召开了低空经济高质量发展大会。粤港双方在低空经济发展上完全是心有灵犀、志同道合，期待双方紧密协作，合力释放低空经济巨大潜能。接下来，我们还将重点推动生物制造等未来产业的发展，加大在脑机接口、AI 制药和医疗等领域的投入力度，让更多的新技术、新产品、新业态在大湾区不断涌现。广东历来也是企业投资兴业的首选地。近年来，我们一直致力于打造市场化、法治化、国际化的一流营商环境，积极对标世界银行评估新体系，持续开展全省营商环境的评价。在深圳、横琴、南沙等地还实施放宽市场准入的特别措施，推动广东加快形成趋同港澳、接轨国际的营商环境。广东已连续4年被全国工商联评为营商环境最佳口碑省份第1名。接下来，我们将进一步深化服务贸易、海关监管、市场准入等领域的制度创新与规则实验，营造更加公开、透明、可预期的营商环境，让广大企业家唱主角、唱大戏，让创新创业、创造活力在大湾区这个大舞台上竞相并发。随着粤港澳大湾区的快速发展，越来越多的港澳居民选择到大湾区内地长期工作生活。近年来，我们加速推动轨道上的大湾区建设，提升大湾区内联外通水平。尤其是今年以来，串通、联通惠州、东莞、广州、福山、肇庆这5座城市的湾区1号地铁贯通运营，连接深圳、中山这2座珠江东西两岸重要城市的深中通道正式通车，进一步拉近了大湾区内部的物理距离，密切了各方的经济联系。与此同时，我们不断提升大湾区民生融合的广度和深度。目前，中国籍和非中国籍的港澳永久居民均可申报往来内地的通行证件。大湾区内地城市也试点实施往来港澳人才的签注等新政策，粤港澳3地间的人员交流交往更加顺畅。随着港澳要械通、跨境理财通、湾区社保通以及港车北上、澳车北上等政策的实施，港澳在粤居民也能享受更优质的医疗服务、更便利的跨境投资、更高效的政务服务和更便捷的交通往来。相信在不久的将来，随着粤港澳游艇自由行、粤港澳跨境低空飞行等政策的落地实施，广大企业家们在大湾区干事创业的同时，也可以享受更高品质的休闲生活，更加舒心的生活环境。各位来宾、各位朋友，大湾区发展空间广阔，足够容纳很多梦想，并且可以让这些梦想生根发芽、开花结果。在此，我也诚挚地邀请大家到大湾区内地来，体验新精彩，共享新机遇，共创新辉煌。谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, Mr. 居，谢谢居先生，请回座。不但照顾到我们企业家商业的营运，还照顾到我们的生活的质素。谢谢。 Ladies and gentlemen, up next, may we now invite on stage Dr. Jonathan Choi, Standing Committee Member of the CPPCC, Chairman of Sunhua Group and Chairman of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area Entrepreneurs Alliance, to deliver his opening remarks. Dr. Choi, please.
各位朋友，早上好。今天我是代表粤港澳企业家的来发言，所以我也用普通话来发言啦。尊敬的李正仪总裁、陈百里副局长、各位来宾，大家早上好！非常高兴能与大家一起分享。当前国际形势复杂多变，不稳定因素增加，各主要经济体均面临较大的压力，需要我们更加坚持改革开放，坚定推动全球经济一体化，努力创新求变，来取得新的机遇和突破。习近平主席亲自谋划部署推动的粤港澳大湾区，是国家重大的发展战略。我们为响应习主席的号召，于2027年底成立粤港澳大湾区企业家联盟，至今已经有7年多了。联盟的主席团成员中有7位现任的全国政协常委，60多位现任的全国人大代表或政协委员。联盟的成员企业涵盖了传统企业、高新科技和高端服务业等全产业链。联盟也得到3地政府的大力支持和中央驻港驻澳联络办的高度肯定。我们年年组织各种粤港澳企业家和高校代表团走向“一带一路”、东北亚、中东以及欧洲，也把上述国家的政商代表团请到大湾区，进行深度对接交流和合作。为培养新一代的青年企业家，我们还在3地政府和高校的支持下，连续5年举办粤港澳大湾区杰出青年企业家评选，表彰了400多位湾区建设年轻一代的带头人。他们的业务涵盖各业，共同的特点是引进数字经济、绿色经济、人工智能等新质生产力。他们是大湾区高质量发展的新力军。在大湾区建设的过程中，我们深刻地体会到香港的独特地位，为整个粤港澳以至“一带一路”的区域发展带来无限机遇。中央要求香港打造巩固、提升国际金融中心、航运中心、商贸中心、创科中心、中外文化艺术交流中心等8大国际中心。这不仅是由于香港拥有“一国两制”的独特优势，更由于香港本身拥有充裕的优质人才、简单地税制、中西交融、普通法法治成熟，并与世界接轨等传统优势。8大国际中心5所世界100强的大学同处一个大都会，是全球独有的优势，是中央对香港委以重任的信心来源。香港各界在融入国家发展大局的过程中，可以发挥自己的聪明才智，为振兴中华做出更大的贡献。在当前日益复杂的国际环境中，可以预期香港的地位和作用一定会更加凸显。因此，我期待与在座的各位一起努力，让香港的明天更加美好。谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, Dr. Choi. Thank you, Dr. Choi. Please be seated. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in inviting on stage Dr. Winkle Lo, President of the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong, who is also our title sponsor for the forum. Let's give him a big round of applause. Dr. Lo, for our opening remarks, please.
Dr. Jane Lee, Professor Con Wang, Dr. Bernard Chen, Mr. Zhu Wei, Dr. Jonathan Choi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you. It's a real honor to co-host this very meaningful and fantastic forum with our Hong Kong Foundation as we celebrate our CMA 90th anniversary. I'm very excited to see so many esteemed speakers here today, ready to dive into a topic that's vital for our region's future. 5 years after the launch of the Greater Bay Area Development Plan, the central government has renewed its call for the GBA to steer high-quality development. This forum couldn't have come at a better time for us to explore how Hong Kong can best contribute. The central government has laid out an inspiring vision for nurturing new quality productive forces, giving us a clear roadmap for Hong Kong's future development. Hong Kong's position is truly unique. Cutting-edge technological advancements are at the heart of these productive forces. Our world-class universities and our unique economic advantage set the stage for fostering technological innovation of tomorrow. But we must focus on turning these inventions into real economic benefits. We are pleased to see that the recent policy which address this head-on. Plans are in place to develop an R&D transformation and pilots production based in the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park. This is an important step towards enhancing collaboration between research institutes and applying those breakthroughs in the GBA. The CMA has also rolled up its sleeves to facilitate technology transfer with its Technology Commercialization Center, CMA+, and a pilot manufacturing center, PMC. Nurturing new productive forces also demands a skilled workforce. The SL government's talent recruitment program shows great promise, highlighting Hong Kong as a global talent hub. Moving forward, we must ramp up our efforts, including cooperating with other GBA cities to attract talents needed for our 8 centers and the GBA Drive. Green development is another crucial pillar of high-quality growth. The overwhelming response to the CMA's Hong Kong ESG Awards and ESG Pledge is a testament to our community's commitment to sustainability. We can truly be role models for our peers in the region. Hong Kong can also leverage its strength in green technology, environmental standards, and green finance to support GBA business as they go green. High standards are the DNA of new productive forces. Hong Kong has a reputation for professional excellence, and recent events such as the mooncake incident remind us of the Hong Kong brand's value. This reputation gives us a unique competitive edge that we should capitalize on. While it's important to enhance our internal capabilities, we must also build strong collaborations with mainland parties, especially those who are active in the GBA. By combining our strength, we can nurture very powerful productive forces. We can harness our expertise in design, finance, trade, brand management, testing, and ESG compliance, and help mainland products make their mark on the global stage. Our subsidiary, CMA Testing, is doing just that. We have formed alliances with various mainland industries, such as agriculture and food industries, to help them expand their markets in Hong Kong and overseas. Seamless movements of goods and people within GBA will let us maximize what we can achieve together. The CMA has proposed setting up a designated zone in the Northern New Territories as a cross-border cooperation platform where products, testing standards, the custom arrangements, and taxation will be aligned, and goods and workers can move freely across the border. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now an important historic opportunity for Hong Kong to lift itself out of the existing difficulties and revitalize its industries. The call has been made, and how we respond will shape our future. It's crucial that we craft a strategic and actionable roadmap for developing localized new quality productive forces, along with substantial reforms in all aspects. It's up to the SAR government and all of us to rise to the occasion. I'm looking forward to the enlightening discussions that will unfold today, and I wish everyone great success with this forum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Low. Thank you. Dr. Low, the president from the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong. And once again, a happy birthday to the 90th anniversary of the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong. Wonderful milestone. Well, the forum today has come to our third edition, our third year this year. And did you know that this is the first time that it's being held in Hong Kong? So indeed, as China's international city, Hong Kong's unique strengths in financial, technological innovation, as well as talent accumulation and global connectivity are crucial to the GBA's development. At today's forum, we have brought together entrepreneurs, industry experts, and academians who will be exploring the opportunities and challenges in the GBA with us, with a focus on Hong Kong's unique role as the bridge between China and the global market. And before we start today, we shall be taking a major mega group photo to recognize all our contributors and collaborators in contributing to the GBA development. So ladies and gentlemen, we would now first like to invite our speakers to come forward to the stage for the group photo. And they include Mr. Robert Locke from the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong. Welcome. Oh, from Daxing Bank China Limited. Welcome. Mr. Louis Chan from Excite, welcome. Ms. Winnie Wong from Asia Insurance Company Limited, welcome. Mr. Ka Moon Chang from Lianfeng Development China Limited, welcome. Ms. Vivian Koo, CEO and Managing Director of the Private Wealth Management Association. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Evan Ouyang from Animoca Brands. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Grant Pan from Noah Group. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Nixon Chow from SenseTime. Welcome. Mr. Chevrolet Chow from Chow Pao Chi. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Marcus Burrell from D Mall. Welcome. The Honourable Legislator Sunny Tan from Hong Kong Productivity Council. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And we also invite representatives from our supporting organizations, co-organizers, and our sponsors, and they include Mr. Charles Chai from Hong Kong ASEAN Foundation. Welcome. Ms. Li Ping Liu from Shenzhen Hong Kong Macau Cooperation Innovation Research Association of Shenzhen. 我们有请刘丽萍女士。Dr. Chun Yan Chang from CCG Hong Kong Council. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Ms. Lin Chai, Hong Kong Office, Department of Commerce of Guangdong Province. 我们有请蔡丽云女士。 Professor Jan Wang, Shenzhen Finance Institute. 我们有请王健教授。Professor Gang Xiao, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. 我们有请邵耿教授。Mr. Harold Wong from Dasing Bank Limited. Welcome. Ms. Jasmine Lee from Ernst & Young, our silver sponsor. Thank you so much, EY, for sponsoring the forum. Mr. Shigami Takashi, Director of Business and Planning and Administration from Nissin Foods Hong Kong Management Company Limited. Welcome, Mr. Takashi. Mr. Wang Bin, Greater Bay Area Homeland Youth Community Foundation, our gold sponsor. 我们有请杨斌先生。We'd also now like to invite our esteemed guests, and they include Dr. Patrick Lau from Hong Kong Trade Development Council. Welcome. Dr. Stephen Wong, Head of Chief Executive's Policy Unit of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Government. Welcome. Mr. Guan Xiangming, Leading Party Member and Secretary General of Guangdong Federation of Industry and Commerce. 我们有请冠相明先生，有请。Up next, Dr. Winkle Lo, President of the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong. Welcome. Dr. Jonathan Choi, Standing Committee Member of the CPPCC, Chairman of Senhua Group and Chairman of Guangdong Hong Kong Macau Bay Area Entrepreneurs Alliance. Welcome, Dr. Choi. Mr. Zhu Wei, Deputy Director of Guangdong Provincial Development and Reform Commission, Standing Deputy Director of Leading Group Office of Guangdong on the construction of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. 我们有请朱伟先生。Professor Chong Wang, Associate Vice President, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. 我们有请王颂教授，谢谢。We'd also like to invite on stage Dr. Bernard Chan, Acting Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development of the Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, accompanied by Dr. Jane Lee, President of Our Hong Kong Foundation. Welcome. All right, we shall be doing a couple of photos. So first off, ladies and gentlemen on stage, please look straight ahead with the official photographer. 我们先请我们台上的贵宾们可以向我们正前方的大会摄影師。對了，不要忘了笑一個啊，還有給個讚。我哋有請咁多位先向正前方嘅大會攝影師，冇錯啦，影低一張靚相先。Look straight ahead at the official photographer and smile for the camera. There is one more official photographer. Please keep that smile going. 我們來個讚好嗎？ Okay, do we want to do a thumbs up? Beautiful. That's right, looking straight ahead and keep that smile going. 笑容要保持。好，我来到我们后排的媒体摄影机。Please keep the smile going. That's right, that's beautiful. Looking straight ahead at our media friends at the back. 我哋有請咁多位向我哋後排嘅媒體攝影師保持笑容。冇錯啦。Keep that smile going. It's beautiful. All right, can we invite everyone to give our guests on stage a big hand? Thank you very much for joining us for the group photo. 我们感谢我们台上的贵宾们参与我们的合影环节，谢谢各位。现在我们的工作人员会领你们到台下回座。Thank you very much, our guests on stage. Please do be seated and enjoy the forum. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now be proceeding to our first panel of the day. We will be diving deep into the topic of finding new paths amidst challenges to enhance business competitiveness. There are a total of 2 keynote speakers for the session. We will first be inviting Dr. Brian Koo, Vice Chairman and President of Xiaopeng, to deliver a video address. Dr. Koo, please.
Chairman Bernard Chen, distinguished guests and friends, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to participate via video in this year's GBA Entrepreneurs Forum. It's a pity that I cannot be there in person, as right now, at this moment, XPeng is hosting our AI Tech Day in Guangzhou, which is our flagship annual event to unveil the latest industry-leading innovations that we have developed in the area of AI, EV technology, and future mobility solution. This year is especially meaningful to both One Hong Kong Foundation as well as XPeng, as we are both celebrating our 10th anniversary. In the last 10 years, we have seen a tremendous transformation and progress in the Greater Bay Area, and XPeng, being a GBA company, certainly had a first-hand experience in this process. So today, I'm honored to share our journey, our vision for the future, and our insights into the GBA's pivotal role in our development, as well as the evolution of future mobility. XPeng began as a small, ambitious startup with a vision to redefine global mobility through advanced technology and AI. With roots in GBA, we have established our headquarters in Guangzhou with R&D centers in both Guangzhou and Shenzhen, leveraging the GBA's vast automotive supply chain, software talent, and technology-focused customer base to develop world-leading EV products, as well as autonomous technologies. We also operate our manufacturing facilities in Zhaoqing and Guangzhou, with cumulative EV delivery over 520,000 vehicles, ranking as one of the top pure-play EV technology company globally. Over time, with the support of our partners as well as local governments, we have also built a significant and sustainable supply chain clustered around our facilities, contributing to making Guangzhou as well as GBA a center for the China's new energy vehicle industry. We were also the first Chinese technology company ever to complete a dual primary listing on both the Hong Kong Stock Exchange as well as the New York Stock Exchange in 2021, and the first Chinese emerging automaker to be listed in Hong Kong and soon after to be included in the Hang Seng Tech Index. Looking back the past decade, XPeng represents a group of startups that's from GBA, has grown to be globally competitive players in their respective sectors, which points to many unique strengths and advantages that GBA has provided us. First of all, GBA itself is one of the largest markets in the world, with over 80 million residents and an economy of 14 trillion RMB, which is already the 10th largest in the world on its own. GBA itself represents a huge opportunity for companies like us. Secondly, GBA actually has one of the largest talent pool. It has many of the top universities in the world. I remember Hong Kong actually now has 5 universities ranked in the top 100, which is actually the only city in the world that has that credential. And with many additional institutes across the GBA region, it offers a seamless pool of talents that we can tap. The thirdly is the progressive business environment GBA offers for companies like ourselves, with a very supportive culture for investment in R&D, as well as the government support for various policies that encourage innovation in the region, and combining the strength of the vast supply chain in China, in Guangdong, as well as the many software and AI companies, as well as the vast capability of international trade and financing ability that's offered by Hong Kong. The combination of that strength provides a very powerful ecosystem that we can thrive in as a company. XPeng is always looking for the next big trend in future mobility. And we see a number of areas that's very exciting. First of all, development of AI and use of AI in future mobility. We actually start to see AI being used to power the development of autonomous driving technologies. AI is also going to be very essential to creating the most intuitive smart cabin experiences in vehicles. So with all these potential and changes coming, I think GBA and at the same time Hong Kong will play a central role in that development. Firstly, Hong Kong is an important hub for young companies like XPeng to establish global presence. Earlier this year, XPeng opened our first experience store in Hong Kong and launched 2 advanced right-hand driving EV models with the latest intelligent technologies. Secondly, Hong Kong is actively collaborating with other GBA cities to shape the future mobility. For example, the Hong Kong government has announced a plan to establish the working group on developing low-altitude economy. As many of you know, XPeng has been focusing on this particular segment through our investment into an affiliate company called AeroHT, which is currently Asia's largest eVTOL company and aiming to deliver the first flying car to end customers by 2026. We look forward to working with Hong Kong and other GBA cities on this exciting future. Last but not the least, we are eager to work closely with Hong Kong authorities to introduce the most advanced autonomous driving technology to the Hong Kong customers. We see significant potential for Hong Kong to be leading international market in this development by providing regulatory support for R&D and testing in the city. Hong Kong's right-hand driving system and driving culture could serve as a showcase for international audience and help accelerate the adoption of autonomous driving in all right-hand driving markets. Again, congratulations on the 10th anniversary of One Hong Kong Foundation. Hong Kong occupies a very special place in our heart. My family has called Hong Kong our home for the last 20 years, and we have all benefited from the closer integration of Hong Kong into the Greater Bay Area in that period. I'm very excited about the future development opportunities by leveraging the many unique characteristics and advantages that GBA can offer. Thank you.
Indeed, exciting and innovative development of XPeng Xiaopeng. Ladies and gentlemen, up next we shall be inviting on stage our second keynote for this session, and he is Mr. Marcus Sorrell, CEO of International Business of DMO, to deliver the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together to welcome Mr. Sorrell.
Good morning. Morning, everyone. Very impressive presentation there from Dr. Gu, so a little bit of a hard act to follow. What I did enjoy in seeing in that video, though, was some images from the XPeng listing on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, because that gets me very excited about the fact that we will be there in 2 weeks' time as we list DMall on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange here. So my name's Marcus. I lead the international division of DMall International. DMall is a retail technology company. We build all the technology that drives retail. We are Beijing-based, but we have development offices in Chengdu and Shenzhen. And we use really the Greater Bay Area and Hong Kong as our springboard for international development. For all the reasons that the speakers have discussed this morning. It's a free port, free trade, English is widely spoken, strong rule of law, huge talent pool, world-class universities. So Hong Kong is really our kind of base to jump into the world. Just to talk a little bit about DMall and my journey with DMall. I've been with DMall for a year. Prior to that, I worked for Dairy Farm here in Hong Kong for 5 years. I've been in Hong Kong for 10 years. My wife is from Hong Kong. I'm afraid I can't speak Chinese yet, but I joined Dairy Farm 5 years ago. Dairy Farm owns Wellcome, Mannings, 7-Eleven, IKEA, 50% of Maxim's Group here in Hong Kong, but has 10,000 retail stores across Asia. And when I joined, I was hired to do 2 things. One was to build the YUU app. So I'm the person responsible for the annoying song that you hear in the supermarket on constant repeat. And also to replace all of Dairy Farm's technology. So we had 10,000 stores in 10 countries. All of our retail technology was end of life and a cybersecurity risk, somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. And I believe that the answer to our technology problems actually lay in China. I had lived in Hong Kong before, working for Adidas, and spent a lot of time in China. When I left in 2008, China was really still far behind Hong Kong in terms of its development, its tech development. It was starting to get hot as I left, but goodness me, over the next 10 years, China just jumped into the future. You had the rise of, at least in my world, the world of technology, you've got Tencent, Alibaba, JD in particular. You have these huge e-commerce pure plays who built all of this infrastructure, logistics infrastructure, but in particular digital infrastructure, right? Payments platforms, WeChat Pay, Alipay. And then eventually, and what caught my attention before I came back was Alibaba and JD starting their own supermarkets. I've been in the supermarket industry for 15 years. That's my passion. I've always kind of followed what's happening in the supermarket industry. And when Ali and JD started their own supermarket, and it was built all on their own tech, that took the world by storm. And this whole expression of O2O, online to offline, seamless integration between the offline experience and the online experience started to kind of proliferate. So I went into China when I got here to Hong Kong to talk to some of them to see if they could help us at Dairy Farm. None of them really worked out, but we did run into somebody else. We met a gentleman by the name of Dr. Wenzhong Zhang, who is now my boss today, and he introduced us to his company, Dmall. Dr. Zhang has a PhD in systems engineering from Stanford. He is a Beijing native. He came back to Beijing after doing his PhD in 1992, and he started a technology company to build point-of-sale systems. Nobody wanted to buy them, so he started his own supermarket to test the technology. The supermarket went crazy. It's Wumart. It's the third biggest supermarket in China today. He forgot about the technology for a little while as he built a supermarket empire. But in 2015, he came back to the technology, and he founded Dmall. Am I pressing the right thing? So Dmall we're a technology company, and the first thing that we did was start replacing all of Wumart's technology through that, the full stack. So replacing the e-commerce systems, replacing point-of-sale systems, auto-replenishment systems, warehouse management systems, ERP, until really we had built the full stack out. Excuse me. So we developed this system. It's an end-to-end system. It's SaaS. It's in the cloud. It's secure. It's real-time. It's digital. And we sort of created a bit of a revolution in China with the tech. Today, we have, over the last 7 years, we have invited other retailers to come onto our platform in China. We are the largest retail service cloud provider in China. We have 600 retailers on our platform in China alone. So I went and I met Dr. Zhang and met all of his team back in 2018, and actually Dairy Farm liked the technology. We did our due diligence. We signed a joint venture with Dmall to replace all of the technology across all 10 countries in Asia. Today, I can tell you that Dairy Farm, I'm no longer at Dairy Farm, is DFI International, as it's now called, has replaced about 80% of their tech. Right, so if you go into Welcome or Mannings or 7-Eleven in Hong Kong, the POS systems that you're interacting with, any apps that you use to shop online, all of that technology is provided by our company, Dmall. Do I have to point this in a certain... okay. Yeah, this is a customer base across Asia. So obviously, with the DFI partnership, Dmall has grown across the Asian region in particular. But we have a lot of other customers. We have SM Retail Group. We're talking to Central Group in Thailand, CP Group as well in Vietnam. So we're building a customer base there. But my job has also been to take us beyond Asia into the Middle East and also into Europe. In Europe at the moment, we have a partnership with the Metro Group, which is one of the largest wholesale retailers in Europe. This is just a sort of taste of what stores look like in Beijing. We've got a customer app. We are fully kind of O2O, so our philosophy is that if a customer walks into the store and walks out without having become a digital customer of ours, we have failed. Right? We want to convert everybody who comes into our store to be a digital customer, and we give you a lot of reasons to do that. So there's a lot of technology in the store to interact with, and of course you can order e-commerce, we have loyalty programs, CRM, so it's really a full suite. Inside the stores, you'll see we have what we call intelligent shopping trolleys. They have cameras on them, they have weight scales in them, they detect the product that you drop into the trolley. You can connect that to a self-checkout, or you can just pay and walk out without going anywhere near a human being or a checkout machine. The back rooms of all of the stores have command centers, usually 15 screens, 90-inch screens, with real-time data from across the business. We even have, in some of our stores, I don't think this clicker works very well, but anyway, even have QR codes on fish in our stores that you can actually scan to see the provenance and the sustainability of where we source the fish from. This is the tech, just very quickly. It's boring, but just to show you that it's a full suite. I made this slide for my CEO 6 years ago. It just tells you that really we have all the tech in the store, right? So we start with the customer and its e-commerce, digital mobile applications, its websites, it's got CRM, it's got loyalty built into it. You go into the store, all of our stores are paperless, all of our warehouses are paperless. We have all the tech in the store, all the goods receiving, all the store operations technology, as well as all of the apps for the customer to navigate the store. And then right down through the chain, through warehouse management systems, transport management systems, and then the big beast ERP, which replaces like SAP or Oracle or other technologies. So we have the full end-to-end suite. We've had that in place for quite a long time, 6 or 7 years now. And really today, our focus as a company is just building this unified, really a unified operating system for retail that on top of which we build AI, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So this is, I won't name which company in Hong Kong this is, but this is one of Dairy Farm's companies, and this is what its retail landscape looked like before and after. Right, beforehand you had dozens of vendors, very complex licensing agreements, lots of products that's gone end of life. Once you migrate to the DMAL OS, which is really just a single operating system, you're dealing with one partner. You never have legacy technology ever again. It is secure, it's real-time, digital all the time, and you can surface that data to either a customer app or to a team member, store associate or warehouse associate, to any app. So any data, any time can be surfaced from the organization. And then last slide from me is just to say, this platform is digital, and as I said, and it's real-time all the time. When you have a platform and when all of the enterprise data is there and can be surfaced in real time, you can build amazing things on top of that. So with this platform built, today, almost every single thing that we do is AI-driven. We're building lots and lots of AI applications, smart energy systems to manage power switching between grids and solar and wind, intelligent cashiers, anti-fraud systems that can detect customers as they approach a checkout, read everything that's in their shopping basket before they start taking stuff out, track their hands and their motion, all this kind of stuff. So a very exciting time for DMAL. As I say, we're 2 weeks away from our IPO here in Hong Kong, so we're very, very excited. We're very happy to use Hong Kong as really our springboard to moving out to the globe. This is the place for us to be, and we think that our long-term future will be here. We are incidentally based in Cyberport, along with Animoca, GoGoVan, and a whole bunch of other unicorns. So we have a lot of support from the government, and yeah, exciting times ahead for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Spiro. If you would please be seated off stage while we reset the stage for the dialogue session, and we'll be inviting you back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming session will focus on how corporates can navigate increasing global competition and leverage the unique strength of the GBA. We'll also be exploring Hong Kong's unique pivotal role as China's most internationalized city and how companies can capitalize on its strong links with ASEAN countries and other Asian markets to your hands, and how their competitiveness will then, how our competitiveness would then add to our benefits. So without further ado, I would like to invite once again on stage Mr. Sparrow, please. Thank you. And before I forget, all the best to the IPO in 10 days. And we are also having a person joining us online, and he is Mr. Anthony Leung, Group Chairman of Nanfeng Group, Group Chairman and co-founder of New Frontier Group. Good morning, Mr. Leung. A wave for us. And our session chair today is Dr. Stephen Wong, Head of Chief Executive's Policy Unit of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Government. And audiences, if you would like to pose a question to our panel, please utilize the QR code as displayed on the corner of the side screens in a moment. So, Dr. Wong, over to you.
First of all, very glad to be here, and a very insightful talk from Marcus. Thanks so much. And I wanted to first actually congratulate our Hong Kong Foundation for the index report that was published about GBA. It's very, very good. I also, from my perspective, the government recently launched a policy address, and a lot of them are also about Greater Bay areas, and there are specific policies that we discussed among how do we facilitate various flows among GBAs. And I wanted to discuss, just give you 2 pointers as we sort of kick off this dialogue session. One is that we highlighted one of the effort that the government have led in investing into the GBA area with mutual cooperation with the Dongguan government by actually investing into a air cargo logistic hub in the Dongguan region, so that the cargoes can go from the Hong Kong airport without, very, very simple customs directly to the Dongguan area by ship, and then go directly into the mainland, so vice versa. So this is a air cargo logistic park, if you will, that the government, with the help of the Hong Kong airport to invest into the GBA area as a mutual cooperation. So that's number one. Number two is we recently announced, as we sort of talked about the business activities within GBA, a lot of people talk about the data flow, and recently, it was announced that the standard contract for cross-border data was expanded to all industries within GBA. So that is a major, significant, effort, so that there are cross-border data between the two, basically with the GBA mainland and Hong Kong as well. So recently, I echoed Brian's talk. I was in his company visiting Nansha a couple months ago and seeing all the flying cars, pretty impressive stuff. And I was in Shenzhen doing sort of research with a lot of companies talking about sort of this going out trend and how Hong Kong can be a international platform to serve these outgoing mid-sized companies from China, from mainland, using Hong Kong as a service platform for their international business going out. So that was pretty much echo to what just Marcus said and Brian. So, but first I wanted to pass on to Anthony as he sort of, to get his immediate responses. I should look at here or there to his face, and so that to just get immediate responses with Dr. Khoo's and Marcus' talk, as well as really to share some of his thoughts about GBA, since he has such a successful business in the healthcare sector in GBA. So Anthony, to you first.
Well, thank you, Stephen. Glad to be here. Unlike Expand and Demo, I'm more on the services side. The GBA opportunity in healthcare in particular, in a way, is now made possible by the very much improved CIQ, custom immigration and quarantine. And so much so that right now, a lot of people are crossing the boundary, not just over the weekends, but kind of in weekdays too, for kind of all kinds of consumption. So the term 北上消费, meaning northbound consumption, is now a daily event. And I must point out that this 北上消费, the northbound consumption, actually has a very positive impact on Hong Kong. In the past, Stephen, as you may know, we were kind of talking about 国情教育, meaning the nationalistic education. And right now, I must say the 北上消费 northbound consumption is really the best 国情教育, the best education on kind of nationalism. But most people view 北上消费 as kind of going there for food, going there for weekends, going there for kind of personal services. And actually, healthcare services is just one of them. Right now in Shenzhen alone, in our hospital, we have a hospital that is about 4 subway stations away from Wangang. Once you cross the boundary. So it's very near the boundary. 30% of our new patients are actually from Hong Kong. Now, obviously, it is assisted by the 长者医疗券, meaning the coupon for the senior citizens in Hong Kong. But that one is actually just the teaser, if I may say. People can spend, say, $2,000 across the boundary. But people, once they get to know our hospital, once they get to know the mainland healthcare services, which is actually very good, but at a much cheaper price, people will start kind of coming to our hospital for other services. And Stephen, as you know, like in Hong Kong, if you have a knee problem, you have to replace the knee joints. You can go to the HA, which is very inexpensive, but the waiting time is 7 years. Assuming if you have a knee problem and you're going to wait 7 years, and that is actually very uncomfortable and very unhealthy. You go to a private hospital in Hong Kong, the more expensive one may charge you $400,000. The cheaper one may be $200,000. At the lowest would be like $150,000. Whereas in our hospital, $80,000 is about the sum that we charge. And that's why a lot of people are crossing the boundary for 北上医疗, northbound healthcare. But on the other hand, we are also seeing value in the Hong Kong system. So right now, New Frontier has outside the hospital authority, we have the most number of oncologists in our Hong Kong clinics. We have about 20-25% of the oncologists. So for a mainland patient, if you have cancer, chances are you may want to have a second opinion or seek very high-end healthcare. And as you know, in Hong Kong, we also have medication that may not be available in the mainland yet. So we see a healthy two-way flow of patients, but clearly there are more people going north rather than coming south. But so the GBA is really integrating. And when I was in the government 20 years ago, we were thinking about how do we encourage Hong Kong people, particularly the seniors, to retire in the GBA, because in Hong Kong, land is limited. People, meaning skilled nurses and caretaker, is also limited. So we're trying to promote retirement up north. But we weren't too successful because healthcare was not kind of perceived to be adequate in the GBA, and it may not be as good. But now there are good healthcare across the boundary. So So I see that going forward, there may be again a healthy flow of people. Those people that choose to retire or in a way live in the Greater Bay Area, meaning north of Hong Kong, may want to live there because of more space, lower cost. But those people that want to live in Hong Kong and can afford the higher cost will live in Hong Kong. And the situation is very much like what is happening in, say, New York, where people in Manhattan may choose to live in smaller space, but then over the weekend they will go to New Hampshire or Long Island. And there are people that will commute from those places in the Manhattan every day. So I see a much more healthy development of the Greater Bay Area in terms of living, retiring, working, and commuting. So I'm very happy to see that the integration of the GBA is really beginning to shape in a way very much like any other Greater Bay Area, such as in New York or London or Tokyo.
Thank you, Anthony. Maybe to Marcus, I wanted to just dig deeper as to the, your experience in Hong Kong as your first point. Obviously, you have a great success with DFI, the dairy farm, which is a great launchpad for your other international clients. But does it come as I don't know whether it comes as an intentional effort or it's just so the deal happens and so you therefore you use Hong Kong as your international launchpad. So, but if you can, is there other specific points that you think, hey, for other mainland tech companies that wanted to go international, do you still recommend them to use Hong Kong as their sort of launchpad, and why?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I think, so we were, I think, DMOR, I mean, I was wearing both hats. I don't know what I mean when I say we, but DMOR was, I think, lucky on one level to find us and have us as the initial client. But I think the key point for me was that DMOR developed its technology in China, right? And Dr. Zhang's vision of his company was to be a global technology company to compete with SAP, Oracle, and others, only to be a complete retail system, not just one component of it. But in order to, in the existing geopolitical climate, what he wanted to do was to internationalize his code. That was the first thing to start with, right? We didn't want to be selling just Chinese technology. We wanted to sell an international technology product, and bringing it to Hong Kong was the logical way to do that. Taking this very sophisticated code base that we have, bring it into Hong Kong, and then redevelop it over time to make it more to operate in a way and also to build business models around it that were more, perhaps more international in their aspect, right? So fortifying cybersecurity, building in privacy by design, and then looking at really what are the technologies that outside of China and indeed potentially outside of Asia that we might want to follow. And so the relationship with DFI for us was a very good way to do that. We brought the code out, we rebuilt all of the code, we deployed it into Microsoft Azure's server farms here, and that's been very successful. As well, I mean, in terms of sort of our whole approach to GBA and Hong Kong as a company has been what I would call almost a wave structure with regard to talent. So we were born in Beijing. We built our initial R&D teams in Chengdu, and then from Chengdu, as we decided to deploy out, we moved a lot of those resources to Shenzhen. And having built up a workforce of about 1,000 people in Shenzhen, we then deployed into Hong Kong. And so we've really kind of driven a wave through GBA into Hong Kong, and now the future base for us, for our company, for our tech, is here in Hong Kong in Cyberport. We will have other places. We will have development centers, I'm sure, in Singapore at some point, Vietnam, maybe in Estonia, in Europe, as we try to fulfill our ambition to be a global company. But Hong Kong delivers all of the things that we need as a platform and as a springboard to do that, right? Everything we've said before, free port, English spoken, rule of law, all of that.
Can I follow up on that in the sense that when your client adopt DFI, let's say, or yourself, DFI adopt this system, the digitization of the retail space, how does that affect the way you look at digital supply chain as well? Because obviously then, as you said, all your supply chain, how you buy, how you pay, how you transfer goods, now becomes, on a different system with different data available. Would that actually have implication not just on the consumer side, but also the way you sort of deal with, the trade, the finance, and the logistics, and the warehousing, and how can you describe a bit more of how that changed the business landscape since it's happening in Hong Kong? So it's curious how does that digitalization effort will change the Hong Kong landscape as well?
Yeah, you have to just, retail is, and particularly supermarket retail is a crusty old world, right? So supermarkets have 4% profit lines normally. And when you're only making 4% profit, you haven't got a lot of money to invest in technology. So a lot of supermarkets in particular, but also all retailers, have a lot of old systems. The DMall system is a transformation, a digital transformation, right? And you cannot overstate how important that is. When you take all of your data and you digitize it, and then it is in a single flowing system that you can access and pull that data out anywhere, it's hugely transformational for your business, right? You can run analytics on top of that and transform any part of your supply chain, your value chain, the customer experience, whatever it might be, right? So on one side, it's the customer. The customer has access to you from an e-commerce perspective, offline and in the store. You have AI-driven auto-replenishment systems that mean the shelves of your supermarket or your Mannings or 7-Eleven or whatever it is are always full. They're always full because AI knows what's selling across all the stores, and it's dropping just-in-time order deliveries into the warehouse that go into the trucks. The trucks are digitally driven, and they go out. Our suppliers are connected into our ERP system and APIing their inventory levels into our ERP. So we can now see the inventory levels not only of our own business in our own warehouses, but also upstream into P&G or Unilever or whoever, and then we can see what the movement of inventory at their level is. That helps us to be much more efficient in planning promotions and drive sales, more efficient for logistics. That drives costs down. Our store operational costs are down because we're more efficient in the stores, we're paperless, and that means lower prices for customers, right? So we're more competitive in the market.
I want to also discuss, aside from opportunities that both Anthony and you discussed, maybe we turn to some of the challenges or pain points. And maybe Anthony, I turn back to you as you sort of build a business to capture the northbound consumption opportunities. What are some of the pain points? And I know that we have one of your hospitals are accepting the health vouchers from the government so that we can utilize the sort of the PPP services. And I was just wondering are you seeing that any pain points in the usage of insurance, for example, health coverage, because a lot of your clients probably buy insurance as well to cover their cost. Are there sort of any pain points that you can share with us, please?
Well, I won't say they are kind of pain points. It's just kind of a lot of work in progress. You mentioned insurance. And in the past, insurance, if you buy health insurance in Hong Kong, you go to China, if you get sick, you have to pay first and then you claim later. But recently, we have signed with quite a number of insurance companies, Prudential, AXA, in the process of signing AIA, that you can do direct pay, meaning that you basically come to a hospital and you just kind of got treated and that's it. I mean, and our hospitals will then settle with these insurance companies. And I see that it's not just kind of covering our hospitals in Shenzhen. In our group, we have now 31 hospitals across first and second tier cities. We also have home health care that we are providing to 70,000 patients a day in about 40 cities in China and growing very fast. And I hope that one of these days we can provide such services in Hong Kong too, because when you are old, when you're sick, the best place to receive healthcare is not just hospitals, but actually at home. So we are trying to build a system that caters hospitals, both the home and the hospital, and the interaction between these two places. Another area that obviously we are trying to solve with both sides government is health data. Right now, the health data cannot really cross the boundary, which obviously makes the seamless flow of patients and the data across the boundary a bit more challenging. So assuming if you do a kind of a scanning, MRI scanning in the mainland of China, you can't really just come back to Hong Kong and expect your doctors in Hong Kong to access the data freely. You probably have to take a USB or some other ways in transporting the data. So there are some of these issues. There are the issues of obviously language, but with AI, language is becoming much less of an issue. Most of our hospitals are bilingual, but writing medical reports for both the patient and for the hospital, it has to be bilingual. Recently, we just launched a medical language AI bot, and that has results in accuracy much better than any other AI translators in the market. And so, I mean, like almost any other business, we are all using tech and AI to help. But I can only see the two-way flow, particularly the lockdown flow, of patients seeking better healthcare with kind of much more reasonable price, continuing and growing.
Anthony, actually, just curious to follow up as an ad hoc question. I saw that some of your competitors have built both clinics and hospitals on both sides of the border. So they have done mainland hospitals as well as actually building clinics and hospitals in Hong Kong, so that to sort of get around the problem that you mentioned, whether if you've done a CT scan in mainland, whether that would be recognized by the local doctors, so that you can create a bit more seamless sort of the health service journey. Would you consider opening a hospital in Hong Kong?
Well, hospitals in Hong Kong is a bigger problem. We have clinics in Hong Kong.
Okay.
As I said, in oncology, we have the largest number of oncologists in Hong Kong outside of the exchange.
Okay.
But hospitals, you need a good piece of land. And land in Hong Kong is expensive. Also, doctors in Hong Kong are very good, but then, I mean, is much more limited in supply. So the cost structure of building a hospital is something that we have to figure out. But I mean, if the opportunity arises, why not?
Thank you, Anthony. Marcus, pain points, and especially I think this, a lot of people have talked about Hong Kong. You said that mainland has sort of jumped into the future in terms of tech. And a lot of people obviously said that Hong Kong is still catching up in a lot of digitization effort. When you actually digitize the retail space, do you sort of, run into a problem of sort of, disconnecting with the Hong Kong ecosystem, where we're trying to in the process of digitizing?
Yeah, I mean, let me answer that, but I realize I didn't quite answer your last question. I just very quickly, 1 minute on recommendation of tech companies in China coming to Hong Kong, because I do think that is the way. I think that is the right path. As I've spent the last year trying to jump DMall over to the other side of the world, into the Middle East and into Europe, and I've come to the conclusion that it is actually better to sort of start on your own doorstep. It's a huge investment. It's a huge kind of cultural change to make that leap. And so I would definitely highly recommend that if you're a technology company in the mainland, that your first venture into international territory should be into Hong Kong. That just logically makes sense. Cultural affinities, the government is super supportive. You can get on board with all kind of the regulation and all of the different things that you need to conform with or be compliant with before kind of breaking out into other markets. So I think for me, it's definitely a very logical step. Yeah, Hong Kong's changed a lot in my view, in the last 6 years. So when I came back, as I said, China had jumped 10 years into the future, and what was stunning to me was Hong Kong didn't seem to have moved. But I've definitely seen over the last 5 years a significant transformation in Hong Kong, right? So when you're doing when you're bringing advanced technology into an environment, and in my case, a retail environment, you've got this coin that has two sides called change and resistance, right? So people are resistant to change. Whether it's customers, right, in terms of online shopping and the transformation of that, it takes time to convert people to online shopping, at least for food. Or it's actually the people that work in your stores or work in your warehouses who've been doing things the same way for 25 years, right? I'm the store manager. I don't need an AI bot to tell me what I need to order today. I'm going to order it, and I want to keep ordering it myself. The truth is that we put the AI bot in place, and instead of being 20% out of stock at shelf, we're 1% out of stock at shelf. So the reality is you can kind of build a coalition of the willing in the beginning, and then you sort of spread that out and use those people as advocates for change. So I would say, yeah, I'd say that's mainly, for me, been the main pain point, is really just converting people to the digital, the new digital world.
Thank you. Well, I think time is running to an end, because I think that we were overrun a little bit, and really appreciate Marcus, Dr. Gu, and Anthony for sharing their thoughts and in their businesses in GBA. Thank you.
Can I invite everyone to please remain for a group photo? And Mr. Leung, if you could look straight ahead into the camera. That was efficiency, okay? That's right, please look straight ahead and smile for the camera, everyone. We have our 3 speakers for the session. That's beautiful. Okay, keep that smile going. Mr. Leung, you're doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us. That's beautiful, and thank you for calling in for the session. And a big thank you to Dr. Wong for chairing our session, Mr. Leung for joining us, and Mr. Cyril for joining us as well.